If you remember from one of my last videos, I said that one of the challenges that I was going to face with shipping those large wrestling chairs was going to be finding a box big enough. Well, I had the idea that a flat screen TV box might flip the bill, so I put a request out on Facebook to see if anyone had any large TV boxes, and sure enough, someone did come through. So let me show you what I have here. And just like that, we have a flat screen TV box. This one is a 65-inch, which is an absolutely mammoth box, which was a logistical challenge just to get it in the car alone. But be that as it may, I have it home now, and so I wanted to bring you guys along on the journey of how I'm going to be able to ship something like this wrestling chair. So this wrestling chair obviously is larger than something you would normally sell on eBay. However, I'm up for the challenge. So one of the biggest things that I noticed right off the bat was how I was going to orient the chair within the box. And I originally thought that maybe putting it horizontally, just like you would see a TV, would work. However, after laying it out and kind of thinking about it, it didn't really seem like that would be the best option. There'd be a lot of extra cutting and reshaping of the box, and I just wanted to make this as easy as possible. Luckily, and let me move the chair so that you can see, luckily this chair stands just about enough, right the same size as the box, or just a little bit less, which is perfect because now I can actually cut the box roughly in half and make two identical boxes from this one box. All right, I moved the chair out of the way so I can explain some other issues that I'm going to be facing. So in addition to the size of the box and being able to cut it appropriately, this doesn't really act like a regular box. Yes, it has some top flaps and some side flaps. However, it's basically just a shell. It leaves this kind of cardboard base behind, and that's what ultimately a TV sits in. So really, I'm left with this giant cardboard shell and a base, and I'm gonna have to somehow ship this chair. So let me reset this box and show you what my plan is. All right, we have everything in place here. So as you can see, there is one cut going down here, and that was specifically made there because when I calculated the width of the chair, I needed to add another couple of inches, I think it was about 8 inches, to account for the width of the box. And what I mean by that is when I cut down here, I'm going to have to, and you can see that I've already pre-bent it, I have to pre-bend this side of the box in order for it to become the box's other flap. And so that's ultimately what's going to close this box, is this flap here. Let me see if I can show you here again. So that's ultimately going to show a closed box, if you can imagine that in your mind. The top of the box will already be closed because of the flaps, and the bottom of the box will already have that base. And so after taping it up tremendously, we should have a full box. So as you can see, the chair fits in here vertically. It will sit on that cardboard base, and once I have the chair wrapped up and padding around it, I should be able to seal up the box. So that is my goal. I have never attempted such a feat, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start the packing process here, and I'm going to try to do a time lapse, and you can see whether or not it's successful. Wish me luck. Hey, just wanted to jump in here really quick and explain that I was originally going to put together this whole box on the back deck. And as luck would have it, as I was getting stuff ready for the shoot, clouds started to roll in and it began raining, which is quite ironic because this is like the 40th day that we haven't had rain. I ended up bringing everything into our kitchen, which is the largest unobstructed space in our house. I know a lot of people have really small kitchens, so we are blessed to have a big open space in our kitchen. This is where I did the assembly, so check it out. All right, so there it is, the nearly completed box. As you can see, it is box shape, and it is holding all of its sides here, which is good. Obviously, I'm not going to be shipping it as is just yet. This duct tape will just not hold up in shipping. So I have one other thing that I need to do before I can get a label slapped on this, and that is going to be to wrap it in a shrink wrap type material. I ordered a roll of black shrink wrap for larger packages, and once that comes in, I will wrap this up a number of times, tape it all down, and put the shipping label right on the box, and it will be good to go. Because the box size and weight aren't going to vary much by the time I get the shrink wrap on it, I can now get the package dimensions and weight and print out a shipping label and have that ready for when the package wrap comes in. All right, everyone, the shrink wrap came in, so let me show you the final step in this process. All right, this was the item that I picked up. This is a roll of package shrink wrap. It's basically like the saran wrap that you'd use to wrap up your leftovers, but it's black, obviously, and this is the final result. So you have one giant monolithic looking like box that's taped up to the wazoo, but it also has at least some more structure now that it has the plastic around it. So hopefully this will make it all the way to its destination. So thanks to my daughter for helping me out, shrink wrapping this, but I think this one's ready for the label and it's ready to get shipped out. So wish me luck. Luckily, that shrink wrap arrived just in time and it allowed us to pack it up, and I got it delivered to UPS before they closed. So all in all, that was a great effort, and I hope that you guys learned something on that. All right, let's take a look at some items that have sold this week out of the eBay store. First on the list today was this new in box Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Blue Ranger action figure from 1995, sold to a buyer in Germany for $44.99 plus eBay's global shipping. Now, this is an interesting issue because earlier this month, eBay had sent out a notification to buyers saying that in order to sell to people in Germany, they would have to comply with a new German shipping law. And while I didn't get too into it, there were some extra requirements that shippers had to go through, and they had to basically register their business and confirm that all of the packing materials that they use are recyclable. Any new listings that I started after seeing this, I have excluded Germany because I just don't want to go through the hassle. But because this went through eBay's global shipping program, I wasn't sure if it would still qualify or not. I heard that global shipping, when the packages arrive to the domestic location, they get repackaged for international travel. So I don't know if eBay is going to be flipping the burden for the repacking, or how that's going to work. So even though this went to Germany, I wouldn't be thrilled if it came back, but I wouldn't be surprised either. So we'll just have to wait and see on this one. Next up was this blue Michelin motorcycle racing hat, sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Then we had one of our older items heading out the door. This was a 3D plastic name mug, sold for $5.09 plus shipping. Next, we had this Under Armour men's bright green athletic shirt, sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. The next item might look familiar as it was featured in one of our garage sale haul videos. It was this OGO 17-inch padded backpack, the dark blue one with the neon green accents. The sales were slow again for a couple of days during the week, so we sent out offers and the buyer accepted for $37.99 plus shipping. This ended up going USPS ground. The next item was part of that anime DVD haul, but it wasn't anime. It was actually this new sealed Atlantis 2 DVD set, The Lost Empire and Milo's Return, double feature Blu-ray, sold for $14.99 plus media mail shipping. And here it is. This was the item that spurred this whole first portion of the video, the WWE ringside padded chair from Hell in a Cell wrestling event. Ended up selling for $99.99 plus shipping. Buyer paid nearly as much for shipping as he did for the chair, but after seeing all of the amount of work that went into it, I can definitely understand why. Next item up was this Scary the Witch Beanie Baby from 2001, sold for $9.34 free shipping on a 15% sale. The next item was a Harley Davidson black motorcycle shirt. This had a great back graphic, really colorful, bright, from 2004, sold for $16.99 on best offer plus shipping. We got a call one day that we were out at garage sales and my daughter had said, hey, you got to come to this got to come to this garage sale. There's a bunch of Harley t-shirts here. And so we got tipped off that they had a bunch there, and this was one of them that sold. So thanks for the heads up. Next item up was this vintage Spoon Teaks Lighthouse. It was the Ocracoke, North Carolina. It was with box and display tag, sold for $16.99 plus shipping. Next up was another best offer. It was the black North Face Women's Yosemite National Park shirt. This shirt sold for $13.50 plus shipping. The next item going out was this pair of camouflage utility trousers, military issue. I called them swamp camouflage because it looked like you would wear them in the swamp. Sold for $17, best offer. And it ended up going to Alaska. And after we made the sale, the buyer messaged me, and we had gone back and forth on a couple of best offers. He put in an offer, and I countered, and we did that a few times. And he ended up thanking me for the haggle. He said that he had not experienced that before on eBay and had a good time doing it. So that was fun. Next up, we had these Nike Free women's green running shoes. Sold for $21.24 on a 15% promotion plus shipping. The next item also sold through eBay's global shipping program, Holiday Visions Barbie Winter Fantasy 2003 Special Edition. This was a new open box item that I had picked up at a garage sale for about $5. And after the buyer had already paid, she messaged me, in French no less, asking if all the accessories were present. So I did my best to respond in French by using Google Translate and let her know that as far as I could tell, everything was included. But have you ever had that happen where something sells and then the buyer asks questions about it? It blows my mind. But it was shipped out, so we'll see what happens. Last but not least was this women's Lucky Brand green military style full zip utility jacket. It sold for full asking price of $29.99 plus shipping. All right, that'll about do it for me for this evening. If you guys learned something, go ahead and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what I did right, what I did wrong when shipping that big chair. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, it really helps us out to grow the channel. If you learned something, drop us a line below and let us know. I appreciate everyone watching this far. Catch you in the next one.